Aloha mai kako. What's up, guys? This is Loa'a coming to you from the Breakroom, Mental Bento, and of course, the one and only Scrappy Podcast. I've missed you guys. Life has happened since since the last time I did. I was consistent with my episodes. However, today, stop procrastinating. Stopping today. Gonna do it. Gonna plan it and make it happen. But anyways, I'm here at the Breakroom, 197 San Island Access Road, inside the karaoke room, or maybe my podcast studio. The guy shooting my intro. I just want to let you know the episode you're gonna be watching is gonna be with Maxie and Bronson, and we're gonna get this video onto YouTube so that we can fucking make it happen. So you guys can get to learn about Mental Bento, you can get to know about Maxie, you can get to know about the break room, so that you can learn what we chefing up over here. So we're gonna kill it. I hope you watch it, have fun, and yes, enjoy episode 37. Come check us out. We're open. The break room is open from 2 p.m. to 2 a.m. 197 San Island Access Road. Great atmosphere, great people, great food. See you guys later. Enjoy the episode.
Your own mom.
No, exactly.
Your mom is small compared to you.
You see my family, right? Like my Japanese side of the family, like I think the next tallest person is like 5'7". And here's me, I'm a fucking ogre.
Like, perfect description. Nah, I'm playing.
But then so I'm riding around, I check the mailbox, right? Then, boom, I get on my bike, I'm running around the neighborhood. I come back, there's like 3 cop cars, and they're like, "Oh, that's him." I'm like, "What?" They straight up threw my bike down.
You just moved into the neighborhood.
Just moved in, right? And I'm like, "What the hell's happening?" They're like, "Oh, we had reports of, you fit the description, a large black individual." I was like, "Excuse me?" They're like, "Do you live here?" And I was like, "Yeah." They're like, "Do you have an adult?" My grandpa's here, but he doesn't speak a lick of English. He only speaks Japanese. And they're like, "What?" I'm like, "All right, bet." So we go to the house, right? I'm like, "Gigi." The cops. Gigi, that's my grandpa. Gigi's slang for grandpa.
Yeah.
In Japanese. My grandpa comes to the door. He's seeing the cops. He's like, I see his expression. He's like, "What the hell's going on?" I'm like, G-chan, like, let him know that I'm your grandson. They're like, "Oh, that's my son. This is my grandson." "You sure?" "Yeah." "Okay, let him go." And I'm like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? Like,
that's crazy.
Bro. That, then even like younger, when I was in grade school, right? Like when the kids found out I was like, like the token black kid.
Yeah.
It's like
token black kid.
Bro, like for real, it's crazy. Like, I guess I was always that
one. What is your ethnicities, by the way?
My ethnicities, I'm African American, predominantly Japanese, and a little bit of Puerto Rican.
Nice.
Boricua mami.
Boricua mami.
Ramen papi. But I always felt that I was never Japanese enough for Japanese people, because I can speak like crazy fluently, and
you can speak Japanese fluently.
Hi, soyo.
Oh.
Boku Nihongo tsugo maichi daijoubu desu yo.
Oh. Omaikai.
Yeah, like I'll be like in the smoking, they have the smoking rooms in Japan. And then like there would be like people straight up talking shit about me.
Really?
Yeah,
I can understand it.
Understand, like, "Oh, sumimasen, shitsumon ga arimasu ka? Boku nihongo daijoubu yo." They look at me like, and they're like, sumimasen, like to try to take back everything. I'm like, I think I just heard everything you said. So yeah, never Japanese enough for Japanese people, never black enough for black people. Like,
and then never Puerto Rican enough for Puerto Ricans.
Never really met them out there, but then I'm big as fuck, right? And I'm light skinned, whatever. But people think I'm poly, what I mean? Because I grew up over here.
Well, I thought you was at least Hawaiian a little bit,
but I'm not. So then I kind of resonate, but I don't really relate,
for sure,
in that sense.
But you're a local boy though.
Yeah, but you listen to how I talk. I don't talk like pigeon.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, 100%.
So then I would always get teased for that. Like, "Oh, this dude talking proper."
Yeah. Where you at, Mililani?
His kids play soccer.
Exactly. So, and that's why I like it relates back to the kitchen. Like it was the one place where I felt like I wasn't judged. I mean, you're only judged by like your skills, and you have to really have thick skin. Because if you don't have thick skin, shit, you're gonna get stepped on all over.
Yeah, I remember our first time when I was working at McDonald's in the kitchen, the general manager was standing over my back while I was frying chicken nuggets and, you know, the McChickens. He's like, faster, faster, faster. I wanted to swing on this guy, you know?
How can you fry something faster?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Everything is on timers.
Yeah.
But,
Exactly.
you know, he was just pushing me. He saw potential in me. Later on, I found out about that, you know, and then, you know, we became good friends. Shout out to Marcelo.
Marcelo.
But anyways, thank you guys. Welcome to the Scrappy Podcast,
Let's go.
Oh, yeah.
episode 37.
It's a beautiful
Good.
little intro right there too.
Going strong. Life is what you make it was the name of the song. If you guys didn't know, it's just kind of funny because actually the thought of the week is the quote is life is what you make it encapsulates the idea that our choices, actions, attitudes shape our experiences and the direction of our lives. It emphasizes personal responsibility and the power to create fulfilling and meaningful existence. That's kind of like what the Scrappy Podcast is about. Like, I mean, my life has been fun, man. Ups and downs. It's almost because that is he collects scraps, and one man's trash is another man's treasure.
Absolutely
And,
right.
and so I think the way my life and other people's lives come together is not always perfect, right? And so it's scrapped together to build something beautiful. And so, what do you think about that? The thought of the week, the song, but the life is what you make it.
You know, that's been my motto. You know, for like ever since took on this role. Like, life is really what you make it.
Yeah.
Like, you know, people say destiny this or you gotta wait for the opportunity. It's like, man, like, if you don't really just grab the bull by the horns and really take it, like, you really wouldn't know what life is really gonna be for you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Bros, how did you guys meet?
We had mutual friends through high school. We didn't get close till maybe around COVID time.
Yeah.
He was doing his mental bento project, and
Yeah.
obviously that was a hit. But yeah, I knew him from when he had a clothing brand, Burley.
Yeah, Burley back in the
Knuckles,
day. Yeah.
So him and Drew Honda, shout out Drew Honda, Sweet Enemy and Burley kind of did their thing.
Yeah, right in the
So
beginning.
we're all kind of friends.
Nice.
Friends of a friend, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of funny. Like, we're always, like, in the same circle. Like, or, like, in terms of mutual friends.
Right.
We really didn't, like, got to, like, really meet each other like
Yeah.
that until. And it was really that, I'd say that Kauai trip with Raiders' first birthday.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. That's,
Literally, yeah, that probably got us a little closer. So we went to my godson's first birthday. Stayed out there for a fucking weekend.
Yeah.
Had a bunch of fun, and that was that.
yeah. I think after that is when, and I really figured out, like, you know, hey, Blends is, like, he's a real cool dude, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I'd say
Appreciate it.
even more so, one of our close mutual friends, Bronson Yim, shout out Yim. That dude don't like nobody. I'll be very real. Like, nah, but it's in a good way. You know what I mean? Like, he's a very reserved person. But then, like, he's very, I wouldn't say standoffish, but that's just the type of person he
Yeah.
is. You know what I mean? Then,
Close to the vest.
yeah. And I know Yim, it's like, he don't really, like, if he messes someone like that, it's like, it's got to be something, you know?
For sure.
So I was thinking in my head, like, Yim always like talk really highly about Blends. You know what I mean? Let me see what it's about. You know, then once I really got to really know Blends like that, then I really understand. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's been fun, man. Like, this whole project here in the Breakroom. Shout out to Pat. He's in here. But just one of our many projects together. And
Get the microphone over here, Pat. Just letting you know. Everything is ready.
but yeah, hopefully we can keep going.
For
It's
sure,
awesome.
For sure.
Yeah.
When did the first conversation happen about working together?
The food truck first, right?
Yeah. Initially,
This was when? 2022?
nah, it was like almost like about a year ago. I'd
Yeah.
Okay.
say.
Beginning of 24, maybe.
Yeah. It was because another one of our mutual friends, shout out Losi, Jason Maroka.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. So because he's always been in my ear, like, man, you got to do it. You got to do it. Like,
Food truck.
it's about time. The food truck.
Anything in the industry, because
Yeah.
he was doing a city and county.
Yeah.
Yeah, wasn't really his dream, you know.
Right.
You know, it was more so I was there because
Stepping stone.
yeah, it was, you know.
Something stable to get to this place
Yeah.
to take this.
Daytime
leap.
investor, I
Yes,
call him.
yes,
Daytime
yes.
investor.
You know, because I had my time at Roy's and, you know, that whole thing before. But I think, like, you know, leaving the nest and that little uncertainty, like, I think it got to where we are now. Because it was like we had a good thing going on with the mental bento thing during COVID, and it was one of those, yeah, time is of the essence, but you can't rush into it.
Got it.
You know, and yeah, so when it started off with the food truck, Then, I kind of went to blends. I was like, man, like, at first I was like, hey, can you help me out? You know what I mean? Then, then it turned to where, like, I see him as a real good partner.
Yeah.
Because, like you said, I did the clothing business before with Burley. There's some other businesses along the way. And I think what I really learned was is building that team. You know what I mean? And I always like to, like, take it back to, like, basketball. I mean, yeah, you got, like, Michael Jordan. You know what I mean? He needed Steve Kerr, Scottie Pippen, Rodman. You got people on that team, different roles to get to where you need to be.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I feel like that's in business, that's what you really need. As great as a chef I am, it's all the guys behind the scenes. Like blends, like Furl, that really keep me fucking going,
Okay. Drake.
Drake.
Good she was here, bud.
Yeah.
Seb.
Ewan. Pat too,
If you win, I win.
Yeah.
Let's just keep saying Pat's name until he grabs his mic.
Nah, but for real, you know what I mean? So I got to thank everyone, behind the scenes to really make, this dream come true. And hopefully we can keep going. Job's not finished.
It's funny because so last year I started this thing called the Llama Llama 2025, and Llama Llama in Hawaiian is, I was telling you last night, is torch fishing, but the Hawaiian language is usually always figurative, never literal, and so torch fishing has to do with something about the future being bright and to glow with health and wealth. And so 2025 is my year to do that. And however that happens, it's going to happen, but it's going to be an awesome year. So I think for you and hearing your story too, and you've been telling me all kinds of stuff from Roy's to, the city and county.
Crazy shit,
to,
man.
what was that first job you had right out of high school?
My first job out of high school, I was a butcher at Whole Foods.
And all that stuff.
Shout out Blaine Chung.
So I think you fit that description of Llama Llama 25 is chasing after your goals, because most people, they live vicariously through other people and they never just do it, because they're too scared to fail.
You're absolutely right. I mean, one of the best things I've learned or heard was from Kanye West. 99% of people are scared to try, get their feet wet. You know what I mean? Then they turn 60 and they're like, man, they look at their grandkids like, man, I wish I was, when I was this, I could have done this. You know what I mean? Then, you're sitting in your 2-bedroom apartment, collecting your fucking Social Security check. You know what I mean? I don't think I was going to do that. Like, I've always had big dreams, aspirations, but it was more so figuring out the most realistic approach to get to where I needed to be. And I think when I found that within myself, things became a lot clearer in life,
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool. Tell me a little bit about the research on the menu, Bronson. Research and development.
This guy's mine right here. But when we were doing the truck, we ended up taking a weekend and flew out to Vegas. We basically ate for 48 hours straight. Like, it was bad. Yeah. He was
obviously it's good.
Yeah, it came out good. That whole weekend was bad. Like, it was rolling me out of the Bellagio. I'm like full, But yeah, it was a good 48 hours of eating.
That was fun.
Checked out a few spots that we thought we could pull inspiration from.
Yeah.
There's a food truck business that turned into a brick and mortar.
Yes,
so that was one of
there.
the key ones. Yeah. But yeah, that was basically
what inspired the Blends Burger?
Because when I was working at Social, shout out Huck, it was the one thing he would always get over there. It's the truffle mushroom Swiss burger with bacon.
Ooh.
So he would get that all the time, and I knew.
How come we're not doing bacon? Is it just too much over here?
Hold on.
Okay.
Working on it.
Yeah. Coming soon. Hey, album coming soon. Nah, but it's a work in progress. You know what I mean?
For sure. Yeah, you don't want to give everybody everything one time.
Nah, it's like and that's where it goes into the menu design. You know what I mean? And I want the Blends burger on there because I feel like it's like a staple. You know what I mean? I always see him get there.
You gotta have a burger.
You gotta have a burger at a fucking bar. And honestly, it's one of our.
I haven't had it yet.
It's one of our top selling items.
I'm gonna make one for lunch after this.
You gotta do it. That roasted garlic aioli on that.
Oh, the thing is crazy.
Shit smack.
Yeah.
But then, going into the menu design, when me and Pat had our first meeting, we went to Underdogs.
Nice.
Then he was like, "Oh, what do you think about this?" I'm like, I mean, if this is the theme, I mean, shit, I can make this way better. You know what I mean? Then
wait, what do you mean? You guys went to Underdogs for what?
We went to go eat. That was like our first meeting.
Okay.
Then research and development.
For food, you guys are trying the food over there.
Food-wise,
got it.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Then I was also asking Pat, like, hey, what's the type of vibe that you want over there?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Is it like you know, is it like a local type bar, or we're doing like pint and jigger where it's
A little bit upscale.
yeah, you know what I mean? Like, what's our demographic? What's our market? You know,
Right, exactly.
Because the food has got to go appropriate with that, right?
Yes, 100%.
Like, you don't want to serve like, you know, like poutine and you know, shit too. You know what I mean?
Poutine.
To local Bronson, like, they don't know what the hell that is.
Yeah, what the fuck is this?
Exactly.
It is fire. though.
Yeah, it is. It is fire, but you know what I mean.
Just slowly introduce new things to the
You
boys.
can,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know?
yeah.
And like, it's kind of like a great artist in a sense, like with music. You know, I mean, no disrespect. It's like you're kind of like dumbing it down. You know what I mean?
Right.
But you're introducing this fine dining culture in like different ways. You know what I mean? Like the smoked meat risotto.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's it's relatable in a sense where people understand what smoked meat is,
Yep.
but you're bringing that fine dining element with the risotto.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah,
But
you get people confused with risotto out of the local boys.
Yes.
Smoked meat rice.
Gravy rice.
Gravy rice.
You're absolutely right.
Smoked meat gravy rice.
So then the inspiration behind the menu went to, you know, I looked at, well, when he told me the vibe, it was like, yeah, more, you know, local setting, you know, like 8 guys coming, you know, to chill out, probably in groups,
Yeah.
you know, to sports bar.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, you know, all right, bet. Let me, you know, dive into that.
Yeah.
So the first one I looked at was Side Street Inn. You know, I mean, that's probably the more successful like sports bars out here, I'd say.
Yeah.
You know, that menu is top tier.
They've transitioned to like almost full restaurant.
Yeah,
already.
exactly.
Oh, it used to be a sports bar. I don't even get like a sports bar feel in there.
No.
The
Oh,
original one on, I don't even know what street that is.
Kapahulu?
No,
No,
that's a-
there's one in the.
It's like shit. It's like it's in that like literally. It's like
Yeah.
literally a side street. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like they didn't even have a deep fryer. Like them niggas was cooking the chicken at the wok.
Oh.
You know what I
Sick.
mean? So that's like for them to, you know, to do what they did over there, you know, in the bare minimum, and to be where they are now, like that drives inspiration.
Yeah. They've been open for a long time.
A minute.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
You know, and that's a testament on them, like, keep elevating, you know what I mean, and keep, you know, being consistent and, you know, just keep pushing.
Yeah.
Because, you know, your flavors can get mundane, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And, like, you can, like, expect your crowd to keep coming, but at the same time, if you're not constantly elevating your food.
They also do a good job with the consistencies. Like,
Yeah.
I'll go to eat the pork chops every time. It's always it's a
Pork
hit
chops
every
is
time.
that's the first thing that came to my
Yeah.
mind. Side Street Inn.
Absolutely right.
Kimchi fried rice.
Garlic,
Oh.
garlic chicken.
Consistency and their portion. Their portion is huge, family style. So
Yes, yes,
that's
yes.
right up Hoy's alley.
And that's one of the things that we kind of do over here. You know, like I'd say our plates are. I see brothers getting takeout boxes all the time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's definitely family style. What we got going on in the break room. You know, and it's just like Side Street Inn. It's definitely local food, but it's a little elevated. You know what I mean? It's
Nice little twist on it.
exactly. You know. Then I'd say the second place that I drew inspiration from was Shakenza.
Shikenza. What's that? Shikenza. For people that don't know.
Honestly, it's a beautiful fusion, I'd say, with Japanese and local food. You know, with what they do. You know, they also offer fresh fish and all that as well too. And that's something that we got going on over here. You know, shout out Logi Fish Company.
Nice. Yeah, the poke bowls has been the spicy poke
Man.
bowls.
Flying, huh?
Flying, the aikatsu flying.
Katsu is crazy.
Man, but you know what? That's fresh fish is definitely a thing for, you know, when you're making sashimi and poke like that, you know.
It's also the energy too you're putting into making it. You know, when you got clear mind and you're happy with what you're doing, that goes into the food. You know what I mean?
Oh,
Your
yeah.
hand- the hands that prepare it.
Absolutely right. You know,
Give
like,
it love.
yeah, what did grandma say? What's the secret ingredient? Love.
Love.
You know what I mean? You can see the passion and love, you know, what we put into the food.
Heck yeah.
You know what I mean? And like, and I can see it with you guys, you know, like Loa'a, Drake, and Seb, and Ewan, you know, the other chefs over here. You know, I might have wrote the book, you know what I mean? But they fucking put the same energy and love into that, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
I
he's
can
always
see
been
it.
putting in. I see you putting in pride. You know, when you make
Yeah,
a dish, like
Bro.
you like to see the presentation. I see what you're doing.
Yeah,
over
it's
there,
beauty.
you know? When I'm in here, I
it's
see
art.
you working.
Yeah.
It is. We're artists.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And our medium is food.
Yeah.
I mean, that's our canvas. You know, and I love that. I love that, you know, when, you know, we're out there on the pass and, you know, we're plating over there and people see us like, damn, what the fuck is going on? You know what I mean? But you don't get that. You don't get that vibe at like a, you know, like a sports bar, you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
no, for sure. 100%.
It's a show.
Elmer is so funny, bro. This guy. This guy's all fired up over the Calvi. This guy's so happy. And then he never get to eat them because Corey ate them all.
Yeah. Did you eat it? It's like, no, I didn't even eat it all. Like, dog, he was all hyped up over that shit. Slobbering like a dog over a bone.
Yeah, no, the customers have been amazing too. It's been awesome. So Mento Bento, you guys are all friends, and then you're approached by Pat, or like how did that connection to the break room start? No,
Man.
because you two met first.
Yeah.
Then you already had Mento Bento.
Yes.
And then you guys been working together for about a year on the food truck, and then now the break room. How did all that transpire?
Man, that's a crazy ass story in itself. Cause so I approached Bronson because I was still working my city job, right?
Right.
And I was like, man, Bland's like, if you really want to do this thing to pop off, because I felt like, with the food truck we were getting some traction,
Right.
And I was like, man, if we really want to, do something with this, I think I got to leave my city job. And at first, we all agreed that I shouldn't, because it's something stable at the moment, right? And just in case there's something happen,
Right.
at least it's something to fall back on. But it's one of those, like, man, like that was the next step. That was the leap of faith. That was the jump that I think I had to do. And I think, and they had to kind of believe in me too, right?
Right.
To, I think, take it to the next level. So then, and this is right around, we're trying to get our truck renovated. We had the next plans.
Was that like 6 months ago?
About, yes.
Yeah.
Then right as I left, right, a week or two after that, I get approached by Pat and our other partner, Ikaika Woolsey. And man, that's like, life is weird. Life is fucking weird.
Life is what you make it.
It really is.
The timing of everything was kind of crazy.
It really
Perfect
is.
Storm.
Like, I feel like ever since I took on this journey of like wanting to be like the best chef.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like life it's just been catering towards that.
Yeah, you made up your mind.
It's so weird how like life just it just opens up these doors, like paths are just going. So like for Pat to give us that call like 2 weeks after, especially this,
that was out of the blue.
out of the fucking blue, like nothing planned. You know what I mean? It's not
But he's eaten at Mento Bento before though. He's tried the food prior to that phone call.
I think maybe like once or twice, but a lot of his friends, mutual friends, like they see him on the Instagram.
Oh, okay.
They've come to us. He works with the guys that I've cooked for, and once they found out like, oh, we're teaming up, like, damn, that's probably the best decision could have went as with a chef.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I gotta thank fucking Pat, man. Like,
Shout out Pat.
bro, it is. Life is really what you make it. It's fucking crazy, and that's why I tell people I'm blessed. You know what I mean? To be where I am right now.
So you got that phone call, and then everything else, the rest is history.
The rest is kind of history. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like we had a couple months of renovating. Like, and that in itself was man, that's a trip too. We had so many things going on. Like one thing like led to another, and it just all worked. And once we had the tasting, and finally everyone got to enjoy the food and everything. Just seeing the smiles on everyone's faces.
It was a good night.
That was a testimony. I was like, damn, because usually when restaurants, when they do open and they do like 5, like 10 rounds of tastings. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And for the Pat and Alyssa,
10 rounds of tasting.
Bro, you be
Through everything.
I'm telling you, dog.
Oh yeah, but that's the whole menu, huh?
Yeah, I mean, we kind of did like the whole menu, but like it'll be like a lot of tweaks. You know what I mean? Like,
well, you guys put in a lot of research prior to it, right?
yeah,
I mean, it's really like what you guys really like.
You're absolutely right. It's definitely a lot of things I've cooked before.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And thank God I was working at Social like kind of before this, so I got to kind of use that as like my test kitchen too. Like,
Would it be a dish to describe the menu as like Hawaii comfort food?
You're absolutely right. That's kind of like spot on.
Yeah.
It's a little bit of everything.
But with a fine twist.
Yes. I'd say like an island bistro.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't really say that. I'd say Hawaii comfort food is probably more along the lines,
Yeah.
Especially with some of the dishes on there. The breakroom special.
Oof.
The soup.
Yeah.
Short rib soup. Yeah.
The soup is the one. Soup is the one.
Oh, the soup, yeah.
Yeah.
The short rib.
Short rib soup.
Short rib.
It's kind of like our take on oxtail soup, but then we use a braised short rib.
Where'd you get the idea to use a braised short rib? Or you just fucking around one day and like, oh, you should try this? Or it was calculated?
Nah, it was kind of like because people do the salt watercress or the salt beef soup, right?
Right.
So kind of like a similar, it's almost combining the oxtail soup and the salt beef soup. And instead of like salting the shit out of the beef, you just kind of, I salt it a little bit for flavor.
Right.
But it's like the same concept,
Yeah. And you just sear them, right? Sear them and throw them inside the soup, the water,
yeah,
the dashi.
dashi, a little ginger, shoyu, and that's about it. Use the natural flavors of the meat, I mean, if you notice with like our menu, like, yeah, it looks like, it looks like there's a lot of components, there's a lot of things going on, but to be real, like we elevate, the most basic things, you know what I mean? And like we really use the natural flavors of the different ingredients to propel what the dish is.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because it's easy to have like Wagyu, like caviar.
Or even like last night too, when we blended the rosemary, thyme, and stuff inside the Caesar dressing.
Yeah, and to make the green goddess, right?
Watch out for those blenders.
Yeah, you gotta watch out.
Yeah, man. Those
Get cut up.
Talking about blending stuff out here.
I think you need to teach them how to blend.
Yeah. Do a blend lesson.
No, but you know what I mean? It's those different elements, and you just take it to another level.
For sure.
You know what I mean? But that's what cooking is. It's a lot of trial and error. You just got to go and try food. I felt like I was a picky eater at first, growing up. But, after I just expanded my palate, and see different things, you talk to different chefs. I feel like a lot of people go to culinary school or stuff, they seem very pretentious. Like you try to talk to them, and they're like, you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. You know what I mean? It's like, bro, like, some of the best dishes are drawn from like, smoking a fucking doob, you know what I mean?
Right.
Sitting back, and you're like, man, why does McDonald's ice cream and French fries work? You know what I mean?
that is a mystery.
And they'll turn into something fucking crazy.
Too bad their ice cream machine is broken all the time.
The freaking business hours.
You're absolutely right. Like
the French fries that we have and the vanilla ice cream we got is good too, bro.
That is smart.
Yeah.
It's another ad on the menu then.
Yeah.
Secret menu.
Fry Sunday.
Like there's this one I just had it in December. It was from the super secret izakaya. Shout out to Chef Ricky. Man, this dessert, like when I talk about a stony dish, like this was out of the fucking world. His dessert, he did an uncrustable, right? With foie gras in it. Bro,
uncrustable, like the peanut butter jelly.
Yeah, like a peanut butter jelly uncrustable. He made his own jam, made his own peanut butter, right? And threw in the foie gras in there, but that shit was like crazy. Like how
that's all it was in it. No, nothing else.
Nothing else,
What is foie gras?
Foie gras is a duck liver.
Goose liver.
Yeah.
Foie gras.
It's
it's spelled like faggot, right?
No, it's
FAGGOT. Foie gras. Foie gras.
We're getting canceled. First episode. Holy shit.
It's just a group of sticks.
Call my PR. No, but then do not Google or YouTube on how foie gras is made, because
you're gonna trip out.
Yeah, Peter definitely gonna come for us now. You know what I mean? But it's trip out. It's kind of crazy. Honestly, food in itself, it's a dirty industry, dude. Like seafood too. That's a dirty ass industry, man. Like I remember Logi here like a month or two ago. They posted about like the difference between fresh fish and what you get, because everyone like the prices of ahi is always going up. You know what I mean? And everyone's battling the poke prices. Like, man, I'm going to fresh catch, paying fucking $35 pound for ahi. You know what I mean? Go like Safeware, Foodland, they got the cheap shit, but even their fresh fish is like fucking $25 a pound.
Previously frozen.
You know what I mean? And like, I hate those people when they be like, oh my God, like, they get spicy ahi. And like, oh, I could taste the freshness in this. Like, no, bitch. You what? Like, that thing's like fucking covered in fucking mail. You got me fucked up thinking that it's fucking fresh as fish. Like this fucking fish will probably sit on the boat for 30 days. You better check your pH level, chick.
Wow.
Shots fired.
But no. But aside from that, but honestly, it's a lot of it's like the quality and how you handle everything, preparation, that's what makes our fucking dishes come out, beautiful,
right,
amazing, and that's why I always like relating cooking to sports, and I think having that outlet too, it definitely doesn't make me go crazy at the end of the day, then I can, if there's a problem that happens, it's like, okay, I see it from that point of view. You know what I mean? Like, and it's the beauty of shit. I feel like if you can like kind of relate things, it makes you a lot happier in life. You don't take shit too seriously. I mean, I obviously take it very seriously.
Right.
But at the end of the day, like, always making yourself to decompress.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
I noticed that about you. You take time to do that.
Yeah, that's another thing.
Where'd you learn how to do that?
Man, it's I just see some crazy ass fucking chefs out there. You know what I mean? They don't know how to handle themselves.
Well, it's not only that you decompress, but you also voice it and let people know that I need to decompress.
Yes, because
that's a whole different level. Yeah, being honest with
yeah.
yourself, you know.
Yes, and
like last night, I was videotaping whoever drew that little character of you, and they got chef's food on the board. Chef's food. That's perfect. That's perfect.
And
so people just know.
Descriptions of how you feeling that day.
Yeah, they'll draw.
Yeah.
So they'll draw happy face. Oh, chef's cool. You know what I mean? See the brown face or the
Chef,
or
you're so
face.
happy today.
Man, I'm throwing shit. Chick, I need fucking hands. You know. Nah, but then I always make it a thing. I just learned it from working with different executive chefs and different people.
Got it.
You know, because it's a crazy ass industry. You know, I've seen some people say some wild shit to me. You know what I mean? Very disrespectful. You know, and I understand tensions are high. You know what I mean? Like things are going on, but you got to be mindful of of how you treat people too, right? Because it's easy to say sorry, but if you do like 5 shifts in a row, like imagine I'm like, Loa'a, you fucking piece of shit. Like, how come you're not getting this fucking thing out the fryer? And I say it to you 5 times a week, and I constantly say, oh, I'm sorry. Right.
I'm not going to believe what you say anymore.
Exactly. Are you going to believe that I'm sorry? Hell no. Because I'm going to constantly berate you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And fuck, I know what that feels like. That's terrible. Like, that's, or I feel like I want to fucking quit, and I want to be here right now if I didn't.
Right,
If I thought that way. So, I just always learn to voice my opinion, Well, I mean, there comes a line, right?
Right.
But that's where another thing the kitchen taught me, be assertive. You gotta tell people, like, when they're proud of you, I'm like, hey man, like what are we talking about? You can't fucking, like the micromanaging with the fryer.
Right.
You can't make this shit fucking fry faster.
Yeah.
Like you got me fucked up. You know what I mean? Like we gotta, like for a perfect example at Roy's, we got a plate sent back. Right? And the guy's like, I need a plate right now. I'm like, dog, like this plate's gonna get sent back if you want this plate right now. You take like 30 more seconds or a minute, just be patient about it. It's gonna be perfect.
Right.
You know what I mean? Some people forget about that. What it was like, the first day on the job. When you're at that level, you're out there, you're just barking. But you forget when you use the intern, you use the prep cook.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, you forget how you were treated and how you were talked to. And when you're in that leadership position, would you want to do that? When you're in that sense of power?
Definitely not.
Nah, so that's what I think about. And that's why I always try to make it a thing to decompress too. Like if it's a crazy ass day, or if it's not a crazy ass day, it's just like it's like a routine. You know what I mean? Just think about it. Okay, how can you make it better? Always make it a thing to talk to you guys too.
Right.
Like, hey, talk to me. Like, what did I do wrong today? You know what I mean? Or if there's anything, all that shit. But that's what I just learned through different experiences.
Solid.
Yeah, no, it's really good that you have that attitude as an operator to communicate with your workers because, culture drives everything,
Yeah, absolutely right.
And when you have good camaraderie and great friendships in whatever you do, not just the kitchen, whatever the product is, it comes out better, 100%.
Yeah, absolutely. That's why I always go to that aspect of team environment, and also with the mental bento team, the guys behind the scenes, for me to able to delegate and trust, Bronson to do this, Ikaka to do this, and our other guy Jack to do that, it takes so much pressure off of what I gotta
100%.
do. You know what I mean? And even in the kitchen, for me to like step away, to see like you and Drake be like just doing it, man, that
Relief, huh?
oh my god,
Yeah.
that's fucking relief.
I told you these boys good.
Bro, he is good. He is good. Then, and then we had the other 2 people who were there, and, unfortunately, they're not with us right now.
Yeah.
But then, we brought in 2 new guys.
Right.
I was like, man, it's disrespect to Jake and Loa'a that, I showed them those 2, and now I got to bring in the A team. And now we got the A team in. It's like, damn, all right. But, that's, then it allows me to, just keep creating.
Yes.
Keep experimenting, you know what I mean? And keep propelling what we want to do over here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's just make fucking beautiful, great food.
Yeah.
And I can go sleep at night happy with that, fucking me and Blends, and we can just talk about how we can
Make things better.
Yeah, make things better,
Yeah. So what's when's the grand opening? Do we have a grand opening set? Or is that just kind of like being floated around?
We'll have a meeting. I think we're just working small stuff out.
Right,
we want
right,
it to
right.
be, I mean, nothing to be perfect, but we want it to get there so people walk in and they're amazed, you know, from the as soon as they walk in till they're leaving after they eat their lumpia dessert, you know.
Yeah,
It's all about the experience,
for sure.
you know. Like it's like going into McDonald's, right? As simple as that is, it's it's the golden arches, right? It's the
Yeah.
uniform.
Golden standard.
Exactly, but it's the whole experience
Unless
about
you're
it.
slow on the fryer.
A little bit too slow, you know. Okay.
Because serving great food is one thing, right? Then it comes like the ambiance, how you treated, is the server going to your table, is relating with you, making jokes. It's all
Yeah.
about the experience at the end of the day.
Yeah, putting a napkin under the drink,
Exactly.
small things.
Exactly. So I feel like once we work out a couple kinks here and there, I mean it's minor things,
Right,
then I feel like we can have that real big grand opening,
right,
Yeah.
We'll
right.
be posting about it.
Yep. Be on the lookout for that.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
So I was thinking about it. When we're gonna have a foodie night, right?
Yes.
Are we gonna bring them all in at once, or are we gonna stagger them? What is your guys' thoughts on that?
I think that's something that we're trying to scheme up on right now. We definitely have been in discussions about having the foodie people come over here, to review and try out the food and everything. But no, we haven't really formally discussed to see if we're gonna have them all in one night or just kind of stagger them out. But either way, I feel like we're kind of on the kitchen side. We're definitely ready for it.
I think we're prepared for that.
Yeah.
I had a question. The menu that we have right now, are you guys gonna run with it for as long as possible, or are you guys having other menus that are gonna eventually throw into the wheel and they kind of recycle on a I don't know how long. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know how that works. But are you guys thinking about that, or just right now where you guys are at is just running with this menu?
I'd say right now we're just running with this menu. I don't want to throw the whole thing away.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because people love our shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And if it's
I'm
not,
glad we got rid of the edamame,
it's one of those. I mean,
Little tweaks here. and there
yeah,
goes a long way.
yeah.
that's what it is, and that's why I love being flexible, and I gotta think everyone else on the team around being flexible with me as well too. I mean, everything's an experiment, right?
For sure.
I'm not the creator in the kitchen, but it's good that he has weekly special or daily specials, so it keeps things fresh. I think more so now is finding what's a staple here amongst the general population that comes here, the general clientele, and then we just work off of that. We already have things highlighted with the if you know acronym.
Got it. Yeah,
So
yeah. I saw that. I
just
saw
so far
that.
of these first 2 weeks, those are probably the highest sellers. So
If you know, you know.
we want to work off of that base and just keep building.
Yeah. What's been the number one seller so far?
Definitely the steak frites.
Steak frites.
Yeah, that's some crazy shit.
Number 2,
Definitely the Blends burger,
Glenn's Burger.
I'd say. Number 3 is probably the Breakroom special.
Nice.
Dude, to me, the sneaky one off the poo-poo menu is that kalbi kimchi quesadilla.
Oh yeah.
I see
That
people ordering
kalbi
2 at a
kimchi,
time.
just
yeah.
that two together is ono.
It's already it's
Yeah.
a staple combination.
That was a
Put that on some rice and then pow.
that was a
simple.
that was a hit the blunt and see what worked.
Oh,
that was,
really?
That was us at social.
With the TNT sauce.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Me and Bronson, we brought him up earlier. We're eating
Yeah.
at social. He was cooking that morning, watching football, and he was just making all kind of crazy stuff.
Yeah,
so
and
he made us aikatsu. He's bringing all kind of dishes.
Just trying.
Yeah.
I love it. Just being just it's the creative realm. You know what I mean? Just you can just try anything out. And I love how, they come in and honestly I appreciate their feedback.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean? I love constructive criticism.
I took home the ahikatsu the other night. I put
Yeah.
them on a bed of green beans and tried a steak frite sauce. No good.
He was getting wild.
I was like, I'm gonna try this because I've been just doing the Blends burger on top of the bed of green beans. Bro, for me, that's just clean and protein.
Right? Yeah.
That's I mean, I don't know about frying the green beans. 1 minute is okay.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, it's fine.
No, me too.
But then the
absolutely
sesame oil,
kill the nutrients in
furikake.
there.
Yeah.
Oh my god,
That's just a fucking.
wet already. The kind.
I love how we made that change onto the onto the garlic shrimp dish.
Oh,
That was a good one.
Yeah, and that was another thing. I was just like, oh, let me just see how it works.
That's the sauce that I think
well,
can go on everything.
nobody liked the carrots and the choy sum.
Yeah, it was one of those because it said seasonal vegetables, right? I'm just
Whatever's there.
seeing what worked, right?
Yeah.
But I think the green, it just
Yeah, how'd you guys
It
make that
just
change?
pairs nicely.
it looks fucking sexy, dude. Like for real.
Yeah, that is true.
You know what I mean?
you know?
Like you have so many colors. Like you got the rice, then the green beans with the furikake, then the unagi sauce. The shrimp is fried. Then
the garlic sauce.
sauce, the citrus garlic sauce.
Yeah,
on
let's not
top.
give away all the secrets, yo.
Fuck, they not me. Shit.
Yeah,
Steph-
no matter. You,
Steph
yeah,
Curry
you
can
can
show you how to
take
shoot a
this
ball.
one, yeah.
You ain't not Steph Curry at the end of the day.
As I'm watching the Masters here and I can't even get under par. Yeah, you're right.
Shit, you buy Jordan shoes, you saw dunking out the fucking free throw line.
Yeah.
You're right.
But that's I love it, man. Like I'm so fucking happy and grateful, blessed, dude. To be honest, to meet people like Bronson, meet people like you, Pat. Like shit, like
Bro, the shrimp on top of that steak last night looked delicious.
oh fuck.
With the side
Surf
of
and turf action.
surf and
Oh,
turf
yeah, we did a
action.
little surf and turf.
With the side of the steak free sauce.
Yeah.
We gotta bring BG back in because he said he liked one lobster tail with his steak next time. So
Oh.
maybe the shrimp can give him a little bit of that taste.
Yeah.
Yeah, once in a while you can do lobster,
Of course,
you know?
of course.
Shrimp and lobster.
Yeah, we'll
Crabs.
definitely do that. We'll
Yeah.
probably sous vide the lobster tail too.
Sous vide, what does that mean?
Sous vide. So that's something that we definitely brought into the spot over here, a little fine dining element.
Yeah, fine dining.
So
element.
sous vide is a French term for cooking or your immersion in a water bath, like cooking immersion in a water bath. So we vacuum seal, it's one of our products over here.
Sous vide, is that little thing you put in the water to
Yes,
warm up
that's
the pork chops and all that stuff?
Yeah, that's a sous vide machine. So yeah, so we do it with our
Oh.
pork chops.
I always
right.
wonder what that was.
So and sous videing is vacuum sealing is also another way to really accentuate your marination process. So if there's something you want it marinated, like that might take like a day or something.
Yeah.
And it's funny, I learned this from the Food Network watching like Chopped when I was like 8, 9 years old. You know what I mean? And like they would vacuum seal like whatever product they needed,
Yeah.
just so the marination gets in there.
Expediting the process.
Exactly. You know what I mean? And what I like about the sous vide is how many times you get pork chops and that motherfucker is dry as hell.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Stringy. That shit is. I don't know how many times I got pork chops and that shit is dry. The beautiful thing about the sous vide is you can cook it constantly at one temperature. So it'll never go over, it'll never go under. So we can cook it like right before it's like cooked, we're at the proper temperature. You know what I mean?
So that it's prepared to just be dropped in the fryer for 1 minute.
Exactly. You know what I mean? So you're not cooking a fucking pork chop for like 6 minutes and that shit comes
Right,
out like
yeah,
a
yeah.
rubber, I'm not feeding that shit to my dog,
You're right.
But that's what I love about using that, using certain fine dining elements and being able to teach you guys about it, and
Yeah.
educate you, and just propel your guys' journey on whatever you guys want to do.
That's what I was excited most when I came back into the kitchen. Like it brought back memories when I was working with Drake.
Yeah.
Like just even being over the dish pit, I'm like washing dishes. Like there's a lot of memories, and then obviously watching him work, teaching you guys. Like I'm picking stuff up again, and just the creative juices flowing. It's just a whole. It's hard to explain the kitchen environment, and it like you know what I mean.
It is. It's pirate. We're pirates.
I've managed restaurants, but I was never like a chef. But just in there, I'm like, damn, this is fun. Like it brings a sense of like pride when you're learning things. That's like what I was explaining. I see it. I see it when you're plating stuff. I'm like, yeah, this is just a fun environment.
And that's why I make it a thing for you guys to go out and drop the dish off.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I feel like when when I was at Roy's or other places, I never really got the opportunity to do that.
Yeah.
I mean, our kitchen is open, but it's not like you got to go out as a chef, get to talk about it. You know what I mean? Get to see your people's. That's your pride right there. I mean, that's your artwork going out. And man, and that feeling when they take that first dive into that fucking, oh my God, just seeing their eyes just light up. I live for that
Jake
shit.
likes to say, "Oh shit." That's so funny. Me in the kitchen, I stay plating the fucking plate. He's like, "Oh shit!" I was like, "Oh."
Bro, funny. So obviously we've known Drake for years. That's our
Right.
boy, right? So this is his first time being in close quarters with him, and he tells me after the first week, he's like, "I'm trying to get Drake to talk," and I'm like, "Bro, you got a better chance of winning the lottery. You're gonna get your one joke an hour, and it's gonna be funny. You gotta hear it because he speaks soft."
You know what I told
Well,
him?
not on the podcast.
Yeah.
He surprised me with his podcast
Yeah,
energy.
yeah.
But in person,
Well, I mean, I talked to him, you know.
Yeah,
I tried
yeah.
to ask
Draw it
questions,
out.
draw it out, you know.
I told him the other day. I was 'cause
Shout out to Drake. He's helping Dad right now.
we had our new boy Ewan in, right, and like it was like it was quiet in there.
Yeah.
I'm like, Ewan, don't worry. Drake, he actually talks a whole bunch. I'm like, you want to watch a couple podcasts? I'm like, you can pull it up right here. But Drake just started laughing. He started dying. I'm like, oh, there we go. Man, I finally got to speak now. Shit.
Bro,
Yeah, but we working on that right now.
Drake is so funny.
We're working on that.
Remember his wedding? How he set me up?
Yeah.
I'm his best man at his wedding.
Fucking
So
do a
he
speech.
asked-
You can do a speech.
He asked me months before the wedding, right? So he asked me, we're at pitch, and I'm like, oh, sick. Like, honored to be your best man.
Yeah.
Do I have to prepare a speech? Do I got to do this or that? He's like, nah, don't worry about it. We'll talk about it later. We never talk about it. Me and him go to Vegas, just me and him before the wedding, like, do our thing, right? We come back, still doesn't say anything. The whole prep for the wedding doesn't say anything. We get to the reception after the wedding. The wedding planner comes up to me. He's like, oh, you going to speak after his sister, yeah? I was like, speak what? She goes, oh, your best man speech. So basically my speech was explaining how he set me up. So it worked out, but that's a Drake move. That's a Drake move. Shout out Drake.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, no, for me, like on a small scale, it's really kind of like a dream come true being in the kitchen with the boys again.
I remember you saying that.
Yeah,
in the
because,
kitchen,
you know, I mean, like, come on. Like, I mean, for me, I don't know, I can't speak for all dudes, but, like, when are you ever going to get a chance to, like, cook with some of your best friends?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You
In
were
the kitchen.
fired up before the assault. You're like, man, I'm stoked to be back in the kitchen.
Yeah, stoked to be back in the kitchen and fucking just chopping it up, making good food, you know, making people happy.
Yes.
And,
that's what it is, man.
You know, fucking now doing a podcast in the same place. You know what I mean? Like, talk about the stars aligning, but, like, just how that, like, for anybody, like, I mean, you got to be in love with life, you know? I mean.
And it goes on to life's what you make it.
Life is what you make it.
It goes back to that intro song, man. Yeah. Life is really how you fucking make it, dude. You know?
Yeah. Just like the plates we're making.
Dude.
Yeah.
Those beautiful.
Pouring that sauce all over the shrimp.
Frack.
Munyamete o senpai.
Yeah, translate, please.
That's some hentai shit.
Again, with the cancellation of this episode. We have bundle of sticks and hentai.
Oh,
Bundle of
God,
sticks.
yeah, we got a PR team got to clean this shit up.
They're going to be working
They're
OT.
working hard.
Yeah.
That's why I got Kanye West tatted on my arm. But
So, what is the general consensus between all your friends about the break room? Besides the food. I mean,
it's alcohol. Everybody
Yeah,
that comes here is really the drink.
yeah.
But it's always, obviously, they know we're in the kitchen, so I get all the feedback for the food. They love the food.
yeah.
My cousin Conrad's here. He's here for like 6 days. He's coming back tonight. That'll
Oh,
be
nice.
his fourth time out of 6 days that him and his family are eating here. Like,
That's awesome.
they enjoy it. So obviously that's my cousin. So I expected the first visit, but for them to just validate what we're doing as a team, because they keep coming back, you know.
Well, because even the server came last night. Tree, she came in, brought her boyfriend. I've been seeing a lot of people coming back, so you know
And
they love the vibe here. You know.
No, when I was working at Whole Foods, and honestly, that's something I took in with a business sense, right? It's making that first impression, right, with your customer,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
Because that's everything.
Yeah.
And that's not just like with the customer, like even life, right? First impressions is everything. That's so big, right? So boom, that's the first thing. All right, boom. Now it's like, okay, how can we make it consistent? But like this is supermarket shit that I learned at Whole Foods, right? How can we get the returning customer? How can we get them to come back and believe in us? Like, hey, this is, you know, there's a reason why I have to come to Whole Foods,
Right?
You know what I mean? Like, what's different about us? What's our niche that makes these people keep coming back? You know, and that's what we're working on. That's what I'm trying to work on with the food. You know what I mean? And I'm thankful that, you know, like what Blends just said, his cousin coming back 4 times out of the 6 days. That's a testament to us. Yeah. You know what I mean? Not only me, but also you guys doing the food as well, too.
It's kind of like what we were talking about last week. What I wrote down on the board is fine, kind, fast.
Yes.
You know, local kind sports bar, but fine, kind. Because I remember at Merriman's, their thing is fine dining fast. You know, it's not fast food. It's fine food, but a little bit faster, you know?
Yes. And it's all about not compromising quality. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's why I love my timers, man. You know,
Dude.
bruh.
That boy stay talking to Siri in the kitchen.
3 minutes.
Siri.
Yes.
Hey Siri.
2 minutes,
Bro,
Siri.
but you know what? When I
Siri off.
on the first day when I seen you and Drake doing that, I'm like, say less, thank you. You know what I mean? I was like, you got some
Bruh,
smart,
timing's at everything.
I was like,
you
you
know?
got some smart people. You know, thank fucking God. You know,
Fuck you get the same quality every single time, same time.
Consistency.
that's
Yeah,
what, and
yeah,
that's
yeah.
and that's what it is. You know, and that's what it is. And then you go to like any like Michelin star kitchen, you know, very high like kitchens that constantly drive and propel food. Timers,
Yeah.
everything. It's order. It's a fucking crazy symphony.
McDonald's machines, all of them have timers.
Timers. You know, but that's consistency. Consistency is a thing. It's like, hey, you can make it to the league, you know what I mean? But, but are you going to be playing in the league for fucking 20 years or 25? You got to stay there. How can you be consistent? Fucking injuries happen.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, you're not going to be at the top for long. The people who have been in the top for long is because they find a way to be consistent. And that's what we got to really attain. A lot of people think,
boy dropping jams.
Like fuck, people want to be famous. They don't want to be fucking rich. Yeah. They want that feeling of, the allure, right? Like I got this, I got that, or I can flex on you. But can you sustain that?
Yeah.
Right.
Sustaining that for 5-6 years, that's fucking crazy. You know what I mean? Can you really sustain a lifestyle? Private jets, staying at penthouses.
Yeah, I mean, if you had fuck you money.
You know what I mean? But how many people in this world got fuck you money?
1%.
No, hell no. And you telling me like these 200 people, whatever, on Instagram got that fuck you money like that? Nah, something's got to give.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's where you got to stay true to yourself.
100%. So moving forward, what's it look like in the next 6 months here at the Breakroom?
Football season.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yes.
Are we gonna open up for a 7 a.m.
Sunday morning?
Sunday mornings?
You got that. You got that right.
Okay.
That Sunday.
So
brunch.
no more partying Saturday nights then, huh?
You know what?
You didn't say all that. That's what you thinking. That's what you thinking.
Drake, boy, can you come in for me, man? Can you come in again?
No, he'll make it, and then halfway through the shift, that's when he can be called.
Yeah.
Nah, like, thank you.
Just start on the screwdrivers from the night before. Keep on going.
Taper in.
Nah, but luckily I'm prepared for that moment because I was doing the Sunday brunch over at Social, for the last 2 years, and that's another beautiful thing. Like, I really got to thank Huck for a lot of these, because after
Shout out to Huck, man.
yeah, he fucking man, like Huck really helped me out. You know, what I mean? Huck, like Huckleberry Finn.
I got you.
But
Huck.
just Huck. Yeah, he's he's
Feel like that.
owner and proprietor of Social. Like after I left Roy's, like he really gave me that. When he told me like, hey, my kitchen is your kitchen. You know what I mean? And just that sense of family. You know what I mean? I really embrace the family environment from that too. And when I was at Roy's, and that's why I bring it over here. Like man, Huck.
And Huck been doing it for a minute. I was not to incriminate myself, but underage going to Dash.
So who is Huck, by the way?
Huck is the owner of Social.
Oh, Huck is the owner of Social.
I mean, he was nice enough to let us do me and him were pretty much doing the Sundays.
Yeah.
Because I was having people film like the promotional stuff.
Yeah, and he had me free reign on the menu.
Yeah.
You know
Oh,
what I mean?
nice. A great platform.
Yeah.
Exactly. That was another thing. Like for him to just be like, bro, I trust you.
Yeah.
You have full creative control on the breakfast menu. I'm like,
Hell yeah.
Say less. You know what I mean?
And some crazy stuff was coming out of there. They had what was it?
The
mochi waffles with
the
karaage chicken on top.
Yeah. We had the Simon on there.
The Simon with the smoked meat inside.
Oh, the Social hash.
Simon with smoked meat. How'd you guys prepare that?
Yeah, we did like local style Simon. Then the smoked meat that we serve here, shout out Uncle Nate, the Matas. That smoked meat is fucking.
It's the best smoked meat.
Damn.
What's the one that we're getting right now?
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah, it's really good smoked meat.
Like
There's no shoyu used in that.
There is no shoyu in that. No shoyu in that.
You know, the only reason I'm working here is because of the smoked meat, right? You know that.
Well, Uncle Nate, put this guy on a retainer. Yeah, pick up 10 pounds a week.
hey, sponsorship?
I think you got your next podcast.
I'll talk about your smoked meat for sure.
I think you got your next podcast guest right there.
Yeah.
Hey, yeah.
Yeah,
Let's set him up.
Yeah, he's also in the music industry too. So
Yes.
he'd have some stories for you.
And you know what? And honestly, Uncle Nate, he bro, without him, a lot of this shit wouldn't be possible. We bought his food truck.
That was it. That's his
sick.
food truck.
That was the food truck that we got. You know what I mean? So he you know, he also propelled this dream as well too, to get to where we are right now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So fuck, I gotta thank him. You know, but that smoked meat is fucking crazy. That shit is good. But on and on. That Sunday brunch menu that we actually been kind of talking about it already.
Yeah, I've just been wondering about that.
Like, yeah, we don't want to give out any secrets.
Because what is it's May already, pretty much. No, April, middle of April,
Yeah.
May, June, July, August,
Draft coming
September.
up.
So 5 months.
Yeah.
So 5 months until football season starts.
So I mean, so right now, like, now we're in a position, right? So a lot of it is forecasting. You know,
Yeah.
like especially with me and food, and it goes back to when you were talking about the menu, right? Am I gonna change it? Whatnot? That's also some other things I gotta look into
Right.
because
Well, you're gonna find your classics, right? Because
Yes.
McDonald's has had their same menu for however long,
You're
right? And
absolutely
people
right.
still buy that shit. So you
Absolutely
find your
right.
classics, if you know kind.
yes,
And
yes.
then whatever is just gonna be transitioning
Yeah.
like specials and whatnot.
Yeah, it's like I'm not gonna botch like 75%. Like a
Right.
couple things will drop, you know what I mean, and we might bring it back as like a special, you know. But also like the only thing about Hawaii is like fuck, we don't have seasons.
Yeah.
We got 2 seasons. Rain and hot.
You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
I mean that's the only thing. Like I love how like we get like the freshest fish. You know what I mean? Like a lot of produce and whatnot's beautiful.
Right.
You know what I mean? And also certain products or certain dishes that we'll get out here that you can't really get out anywhere else, you know? But, you know, the fact that it's hard to see, like, certain fruits that come out, you know, in the spring. Like, right now it's strawberry season, you know what I mean? Like, you go to Japan, man, those strawberries are fucking top-notch. But also, I feel like that's lost within how the food world is. You know what I mean? Because, like, everything is such demand. You know, so everything's grown like GMOs, in the constant
Got
need.
it. Yeah.
You know, so like you don't really get to appreciate, you know, certain foods in certain, you know, in their
Seasons,
peaks.
yeah.
Yeah, you know, and I really feel like where food is. And that's, I guess, when we talk about the menu, I want to go into more like, okay, this is something we can serve in the spring.
Right.
Okay, this is something we can serve in the fall.
Yeah.
Oh, this is a winter dish.
Nice.
You know, and I want to bring back that element,
Yes.
you know, to our menu.
That'd
You
be
know what I mean?
solid.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome.
And I think that's our niche. You know, that's what, I feel like that's where it's gonna drive us away
Separate
from,
us, yeah.
you know, separate us from, you know, all these people around here. We're not just a sports bar.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We're chefs back there that give a fuck about what you eat at the end of the day. And you can taste it in the love and passion that with every dish that comes out.
Yeah. Feel that. Right on. Well, you got anything else to say? Do you have any jokes, food jokes, or any kitchen jokes? Always got to get the joke of the pod, but Drake's not here, so
What, he has like a
yeah.
jokes on
Usually I
deck?
have him because when I was building the podcast and just like how I want to run it, the inspiration is Joe Rogan, Theo Vaughn, Kill Tony show, Lex Friedman, kind of like a brainiac, get deeps and stuff, and then the PBD podcast.
Yes.
So like business, like personal development, but also like central, but cover a lot of topics. News, sometimes I cover news, but the biggest thing is just like some kind of comedic effect to it, because I think part of life is laughing, and so joke of the pod, because since we like watching the Kill Tony show and a bunch of comedians.
Yeah, absolutely.
Bunch of
right.
comedians inspired this podcast for me. I don't think I'm a comedian, but
We're like laughing half this fucking podcast.
Yeah.
To be fucking
it's
honest.
so funny. But yeah, any kitchen jokes?
I mean, I just have. Yeah, I guess here's one.
Let's go.
Turn my mic off for that.
No, we're not gonna get canceled for this one.
No, we're not.
No, is a coconut a fruit or a vegetable?
Vegetable.
What about you?
I'll be opposite of him. I'll go fruit.
It's neither, you fucking dumbasses. It's a fucking nut.
Nice. Coconut.
coconut.
Speaking about coconuts, shout out to White Cocoa.
I thought that was going somewhere.
Shout out White Cocoa. Hey, I gotta get White Cocoa to sponsor. I love White Cocoa. White Cocoa coconut water. You know the kind.
Remember we were on a
They do make some
White
good
Cocoa
coconut
and
water.
Jameson tip.
Yeah,
You used to
yes.
drink Jameson.
What?
It's good.
It's good.
And it's hydrating you so you don't wake up. It's good.
Well, thank God I don't drink Jameson anymore.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I don't
So-
anymore, but there was
Yeah.
like a
Yeah,
maybe a
back in like
2-year run,
2018
yeah.
when it got back, we were just like on these coconut. I was doing Uber, and then we were doing coconut and Jameson, coconut water and Jameson, eating smoked meat at 6:04. You know,
Jesus
trying to
Christ.
hit on the girls.
The last time I
Hey.
drank Jameson, I woke up in someone's truck at 4:00 in the morning after St. Patrick's Day.
What was his name?
John.
I got nothing to say.
That goes into another joke. What's worse than ants in your pants?
I don't know.
Uncles.
Uncle.
Uncle John was in brother's pants.
Oh,
Now we
no.
get canceled.
Okay, cue the outro song. Them belly fool.
Oh shit, the belly full.
I got
The
your
belly-
guys some shirts too.
Oh,
God.
yes, sir.
Wearing the newest Islanders t-shirt.
Islanders. What is Islanders?
Islanders, shout out to Big Bros Kahai and Philly. This is the brand right here, Built Tough. This is the newest drop, so go check them out.
Oh, no.
Islanders, the A is upside down. It's a
What,
B.
what happened to the soup?
Oh, so you like one rerun of that?
Yeah,
I seen you wearing it the
yeah,
other day.
I love my soup shirt. People, I get compliments all the time.
Hello?
No, you good. You good. It's all good. Well, it was a pleasure having you guys.
Thank you, Lo.
I think like the first 2 minutes missed them, so that little beginning story never get caught. But
With the
we get-
intro, the music?
yeah. That's right. It's the first one.
It's okay. It's not gonna be that.
So
much.
I was thinking
Yeah.
we do like once a month or whatever. Do a Breakroom special.
Mm.
That episode, Breakroom special
I like
episode.
that. Yeah.
Make sure gotta get Drake on, gotta get Pat on eventually. Maybe Alyssa.
Oh, you're gonna need some edits. You're gonna need some edits on that one.
Yeah, shout out Alyssa.
Shout out.
Shout out Alyssa.
But yeah, check us out. 197 Staten Island Access Road, the Breakroom,
The Breakroom, Mental Kitchen.
We out here.
Yes, sir.
Yep. Love you guys.
Scrappy Podcast. Shout out.
Easy.
Aloha.
Easy.
Aloha.